internet. It is Saturday the 1st of April 2023 and welcome back to the channel. You April Fools. Unfortunately, this is not an April Fool's gag. I suck at vehicle painting. Absolutely suck. Do you remember last week we talked about what could I do to remove the small amount of rust in Govan on the windshield? So between the windshield, or just where the windshield meets the gasket, there's a little bit of rust on one side and a little bit on the other side. And then there's a couple of little spots of rust appearing on the side panel. Well, we learned about how to do it, how to remove it, and how to paint and everything. And so I went ahead and did it, and crikey, the results are shithouse. Absolutely. First of all, the paint color that Super Cheap Auto matched isn't the color. So that's a thing. It's only a very subtle thing, but it is a thing. We went from the VIN number, the vehicle identification number, I guess that little panel that has the coding, and I took a photo of it and showed it to him. And by the way, Super Cheap Auto, don't think, oh, well, you shouldn't have gone with the cheap one. No, Super Cheap Auto is just the brand name. They're actually quite reputable. So he mixed up the paint for me, and yeah, it turns out it wasn't the exact color. And this is not a very old vehicle. I mean, 2005, I guess that is pretty old. 2015's 10 years, 20. It's nearly 20 years old. Wait, 2005, 2015 is 10. Yeah, it's not, so it's nearly 20 years old. So what I'm saying, or what I'm getting at, is the color code and the paint should still be a thing, right? This should still be in production. To not get it as badly wrong. Or maybe the dude mixing it just did a bad job. But either way, there's a panel on the side, the panel that had the Chamonix. Yeah, that's how you say it. You don't say Chamonix. So there was a little Chamonix decal on the left-hand panel. There's one on the right-hand panel too. And there was a little bit of rust, like a couple of sort of like, I guess, rock dents that had been like slightly, like very, very minimal. But I figured, well, hey man, I got all this stuff. I might as well touch it up. And so I started touching that bit up. And then I decided, hey man, why don't I just get rid of that Chamonix decal? It's all messed up anyway. It's like half of it's missing. And so I got a scraper, and I scraped off this decal that's been on there for 20 years. It was a very hard job. Yo, Billy Watson, how you doing, man? Hey, man, hope your FTP upgrade is going better than mine. Mine isn't going, dude. I will talk about that later. Can I get through this painting crap first, and then I'll talk about the fiber to the premises upgrade, which I don't normally talk about on the live stream per se, because I am making a video series, but I will touch on that. But thank you for joining us, Billy. Good to see you, man. So yeah, I started this job with the decal, and let me bring up the Chisel chat here so we can play along too. Of course, thank you, Billy. Cheers, man. Yeah, so I went ahead and did this, and that's when I realized that, hey man, this paint isn't the exact color, and it's most notable there on the side panel. It's not noticeable on the roof where the windshield meets, because you don't often look up there. But that's got its own series of issues, let me tell you. Let me show you the photos first, because this will make you giggle. Well, it makes me cringe, but I'm a little embarrassed, if I'm being honest. I'm a little embarrassed. Hey, by the way, Billy, if you haven't done me a solid, can you like this stream up? I can see 3 watching on YouTube, and I can only see 1 like. If you could, if you haven't already, could you just snap, crackle, and pop onto that like button? Lay all over it. Just put all your weight. Lean into it with an elbow. Jump at it. Already done it? Okay, cool. That's you that's done that. Okay, cool. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. I'm just trying to trip up the YouTube gods and goddesses because they hate me. By the way, this is a YouTube stream. If you're watching on DLive or Twitch or Trovo or Facebook or wherever you might be watching, we're doing this on YouTube. If you want to hang out with me in the YouTube chat, this is the chat I've got. It's the only one I'm looking at. If you want to be in that chat where Billy is, you have to come on down to the YouTube machine. I'd like you to be here. We're probably going to hang out for half hour or so, maybe a little longer. We'll see how we play, but let me show you these photos. But I am a little embarrassed. I'm a little embarrassed. Okay, so here's the here is the images. Let me just make this full screen skis. Nope, that was making it smaller. Oh, okay, double click doesn't work. Okay, it used to. Drag the handles, man. Grab the handles. So what we're looking at there is the side panel. And let me just zoom in, Skins. Look at that crap. Look at it. Bubbling up. That's one of the smaller ones too. Check this one out. Dude, look at that. It's like a little community of bubbles living there. The crikey. Now, this is the side panel, by the way. Here is the roof. So you can see this is the roof. I'll get to this bit in a second, but focus your attention on that big ass bubble. Look at that shit. Far out. I mean, it's quite artistic, but you don't want that on your vehicle. Yo, Jason, how you doing, man? How you doing, Jason? Good to see you. See you coming in, but I don't see a second like on the stream. Do me a solid. Oh, there it is. Literally as I clap my hands. Let's see if that works again. Nah, it only worked once. Nah, that didn't work at all. Yeah, check that out. I mean, that's terrible, right? Now, if you zoom out on that image, you can see that it's on the roof and you've got this crap going on down here. So let me tell you about what happened down here. And then I'll show you some images that'll make you go, oh, shit, dude. Okay, so this vehicle, it's 20 odd years old. The rust was inside or underneath the little gap where the gasket meets the steel. So you got steel, gasket, windshield. Now the gasket is obviously there to stop water ingest coming underneath the windshield coming into the vehicle. It's the rubber point between the glass and the steel. So I obviously had to take that gasket out to do this job. As I started taking the gasket out, yo, Davey Z, how you doing, man? Mine should register shortly. I see 4 now. It worked, and somebody else liked it as well. So whoever the little additional is, I appreciate that. 3 watching and 4 likes. Hey, ratioed, I'll take that ratio. So I had to get this gasket out. That was my primary concern, to actually get into this gap and make sure that I attack this rust correctly. And by the way, we're not talking much rust. We're not talking like bubbles and flakes and like deep sanding. We're only talking visual, really. I mean, there's a little bit of bubbling, but not much. So as I started taking this gasket out, I realized quickly that, dude, this gasket is old, right? This is not just old, but it's old and been in the sun, and it's very hard. Like it's almost wedged into this gap. There's no malleable movement. There's no softnicity. It's just, it's doing its job, but it's only doing its job because it's been there for 20 odd years and the sun has caked it in there. So I actually had to lever it out with like, a screwdriver. I know, probably using the wrong tool, but I had nothing else. So I had to lever it out. Once I got it out, in my mind, I was like, dude, this is not going to go back in this gap very easily, right? It's not going to fill that slot again as easily as it did, or it's going to go in that slot, but it's not going to do the job that it needs to do. I seal it. So I thought, well, all right, what could I do to help that along? When the time comes to forcing this thing back in, I figured a little Sellies no more gaps would be the trick, right? A little no more gaps. This is a product we have in Australia. I'm sure you've got it wherever you live on the planet. It's from a hardware store. You just squeeze it in the gap. It expands and dries, and it fills up the gap, right? Whatever the gap is between the thing. I also thought, well, at this point, there's no problem gluing this thing in as well. Now, no more gaps isn't specifically an adhesive, so I threw in some Gorilla Glue that I had left over from when I bought the van. One of the previous owners was using that to glue up some of the interior paneling that had fallen off. By the way, I fixed that. The dude didn't do a good job. I did a better job, but that's one good job I've done. This job is a shithouse job. So I figured some no more gaps and some Gorilla Glue would shove that thing in. But of course, getting it in, wow, it was a nightmare. And I got to show you the image. It's pretty bad. I don't really want to show it to you because it's that embarrassing. Like, this is a bad job, right? Like, all right, abuse me, flame me, nail me. I deserve it. Check this out. Let's go to this last image. Look at that. I mean, look at that job, dude. Now, okay, so I could clean it up a little, and it's a blurry photo too. I could clean that up a little bit. The way I see it, and by the way, it didn't stay in places. Like you can see here, it's bulging out a little, but there is no more gaps around it. I wish this was a clearer image, but it's just, it is what it is. It's not great, right? It's not great. And over here, you can see this here is more of that cratering effect. But I will tell you this, and this did surprise me, it's been hammering down with rain here and it doesn't leak. So does it look good? No. Does it leak? No. Does it bother me? Yes. Am I going to do anything about it? Probably not. What do you say? Like, is that as bad as I'm making out? Or, because I mean, how often do you see that anyway? Looking at a vehicle, you don't often see that, right? Like that's at the very top. Davey says, well done, no leaks. I mean, thank you. I mean, yeah, I got it back in, no leaks, but I mean, could I run like some sandpaper over that and clean it up? Probably, more than likely, yes. Should I? I mean, here's what I was actually thinking. Perish the thought, if I did have a windshield that cracks, right? When that potentially happens, if I drive past a truck and it kicks up a stone and it not just chips the windshield but shatters it, then I'm going to need a new windshield. And at that point, I figured the new gasket as well, right? That's what I was thinking. And by the way, there is a chip on that windshield as well that I didn't do. The previous owner did that. Billy, from a distance, it probably isn't noticeable. It's true, yeah. Yeah, that's true. You don't really, unless you're eyeing it, you won't see it. Jason, my dad's a mechanic and he says you need warm days to do body work and to paint. Jason, on that note, I think what happened, and I've got a speculation of two things. It was a warm day and it was humid. And it did say that humidity isn't great for it. So I might have messed up by doing it on a humid day. That'd be my goal compared to buying the actual gasket. Yeah. So, okay, so we're on the same page. So the other thing that I think might have happened, and this is where you guys that do this potentially for a living that are watching this will be like, you fucking idiot, you absolute idiot. So I didn't have any degreaser. So you need to keep wiping the area with degreaser and, taking off any oils and whatnot. So what I used instead, at first I was using mineral turpentine, and then I started using methylated spirits. This is and by the way, this bubbling up stuff happened on every surface I painted. So whatever I was doing it wrong and I was repeating it. So methylated spirits, mineral turpentines, and then as a final once I'd gone over it with a nice clean rag, I went ahead with this isopropyl alcohol, which is a thing that you can use to clean off residue from like stickers that have been on surfaces for years or whatever. I actually used it on the glass to clean up some stupid stickers that the previous owners or the other owners had. So I did go over it with that. So in my mind, the surface was free of grease or dust or any contaminant, but maybe the humidity wasn't favorable. Dougski, hi Gibbs, how you doing, man? Good to see you, Doug. Yeah, I'm glad you came in after I showed those images because I am a little embarrassed by that. If before I did this job, it looked good. Now it looks rubbish, but it's not something that you see unless you're looking for it. And yeah, I'm holding out on the odd chance that I have to replace the whole windshield. I didn't turn my mail client off. Can I just do that quickly while I stream? I don't like my mail client dinging in the background. Get out of there. So yeah, that's the thing. And by the way, this is no real surprise to me. Like when I do a job that I've never painted a vehicle before, ever. I'll probably never do it again after this experience. Hell no, I don't want to do that shit. In fact, I'm not going to do the other side. I'm going to leave the Chamonix sticker that's equally as messy as the other one. I'm going to leave that on there. Like the fact that and by the way, I used all the paint, so I've got to go and get more paint made up, which will probably be another color, right? He won't get that right. So I'm going to leave that side as it is. Ultimate answer to the situation, is there rust on Govan? No, there's not. I got rid of it. Are there paint bubbles? Yeah. I added those to it, but I got rid of the rust. So mission accomplished and a little bit of extra. I can always watch the replay. Kudos for you for having a crack. Yeah, well, this might be one that I recommend you don't watch. It's just, look, I'll show it to you. It's a little embarrassing, dude. Look at these paint bubbles, man. Look at this. I mean, I like it in terms of art. It looks kind of like a river from above, like you're looking down from space at the Amazon or something. Look at this, dude. Look at this. Look at this crap. Every surface I touched, it just came up like a wombat? I'm going to say wombat. Yeah, it came up like a wombat. Did you sand and stuff first? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I sanded it right back to the bare metal. Then I put anti-rust on it. Then I sanded it back. Then I added primer, a deep anti-rust vehicle primer. Then I sanded it back again. Then I sanded it again. And each time I did this, I cleaned, right? I cleaned it each time. Then I did the final clean, waited a day. So I didn't do it all together. I waited till it was fully dry. Then I applied the first coat of paint. And as soon as I started painting it, oh, what's that? It starts coming up like it's alive. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then bang, it starts getting bigger and bigger. I'm like, okay. Didn't see this in the guidebook. So that's that. Today, or maybe tomorrow, given that it's already midday, tomorrow I've got to look at replacing a light bulb or a light globe. I'm not too sure what you call it where you are. We call it a light globe. Actually, Australia, we call it both. We do a light bulb or a light globe. Headlamp. One of them's gone. So when I go to high beam, I get 2 lights. When I take high beam off, I get 1 light. So I've got to, oh shit, that just reminded me of my dream last night. Damn, dude. That just came back to me. I had a dream. I was driving for the job that I do, which is driving. And in the vehicle I was driving, wow, this is weird. Anytime I drop below, say, 60 kilometers an hour, the lights would go off. And I got pulled over by a cop. And the cop was like, what are you doing driving at night with no lights on? I'm like, well, I'm not. I'm driving with lights on, but it's if I go past or if I go under a certain speed, all the lights go off. And the cop's like, nah, there's no vehicle that does that. And I said, jump in. And he came in with me and we went for a bit of a spin. And sure enough, when I went below 60, the lights went off. And I remember in my dream, he was like, well, I'm not going to give you a fine because it's an anomaly, but stay above 60 and only go below 60 when you're coming into a town and then try to avoid traffic. That was weird. That was a dream. That's the thing, right? That's how my mind works because I was obviously, like I got home late last night. It's now midday. I got home at midnight last night, got into bed, woke up at 6:30, went for a surf. Shocking. Rubbish. Got 1 wave. Deleted everything. It wasn't worth making a video. And then in my mind, before I went to bed, I was thinking about this. I got to fix this light bulb, this light globe thing. But yeah, and what I'm getting at is, am I going to mess that up as well? Like what could I possibly do wrong changing a light bulb in a vehicle? I think that should be a pretty straightforward task, right? Like I don't feel like I can mess that up. But stay tuned, and if I completely mess up, I'll report on it next week. But there can't be too much to that, right? I'm picturing. Oh shit! How do you get? I guess there might be holes in the plastic, and you screw them out, and then take the plastic off, or do you go in the back? Do you open up the hood and go down in that way, or do you unscrew the little plastic, the clear iris, and take that out? I don't know. I guess I'll mess it all up, and I'll report back how messy it is. But that's all I had for you today. But Billy did want to talk about the FTTP upgrade situation. So I won't go too deep into this, Billy, because I do want to save it for a video. But if you've watched my most recent, this is because you asked, by the way. I want I want to do what's right for you yahoos, just like you did for me with the 6 likes and 6 watching. That's a good ratio. 6 and 6. Hell yeah. I appreciate that. So if you've watched my content, you've seen my videos speaking about this fiber to the premises upgrade. Dugski, headlights from the back. Okay, good to know. Thank you, dude. Thank you for that. I'll do it that way then. I would have gone from the front, right? So if you are watching those videos about the fiber to the premises upgrade, the latest, or the 9th or 10th, I think it's the 9th video, which is the most current. By the way, on the side, I'm really stoked I started documenting that from the get-go. I just had a feeling, had a hunch. I had enough of experience with NBN in this country that I figured this is not going to run smoothly, right? So I started documenting it from the get-go, and I'm stoked I did because it's dragged on and on and on. But as we are now, I do have this NBN Co. Executive Operations, no, Escalations Manager. Is that what Escalations Manager at NBN Co. Yeah. The worst install you've ever seen. For you, Billy, what did you say before? I hope your FTTP upgrade is going better than mine. So you think yours is bad? I mean, mine's still going, dude. I haven't got it yet. Still doesn't work for you. Dude, I don't know how. I mean, I don't know what to say. Can I send links? Yeah, go ahead, man, for sure. Chuck. Oh, is that a thing on YouTube? Chuck it in. See if you can. If you can't send a link on YouTube, do you follow me anywhere else on Twitter or on DLive or on Twitch or on Trovo or something? You might not be able to put a link in the YouTube chat. I think it's only mods that do that. Either way, I'll just say this: Kick and Twitch. Just do it in Twitch because I'm not on Kick right now. I'll go over to Twitch and grab the link though. I'm not on Kick right now. I try to keep my Kick streams exclusive because I really want to give Kick a good run. By the way, happy April Fools, you fools out there! If you're fooling it up, I'm fooling it up all the time, eh? I'm fooling it. You know what? I could go to Twitch straight here from my restream. View on Twitch. So I'm already on Twitch there, and I'll paste it over. Yeah, I'm on Twitch there, connecting to chat. Yeah, I'm stoked that I've got this connection directly into NBN Co now, so I don't have to go through my RSP. I'm going to chat on Twitch here. Just give me a second. I'll just chat here and say I'm here. Oh, I'm not even logged in there. What? Okay, well, I can't chat there because I'm not logged in, but that's weird because I'm streaming there. Hello, Twitch. Did you get the link? No, I didn't see that. Can you paste it? Can you paste it again? I see your handle. I'm Billy. Yeah, I see Yib999. Paste it again. Yeah, I got it this time. Okay, cool. The Botrix Live says, please do not send links. Dude, I asked him to. Copy link. Okay, cool. I got it. I got you. I'll go over here. You got a Reddit forum, Reddit thread here. So got it here. Reddit is asking you to show notifications. I'll block them. 17 hours ago. Is this an acceptable NBN FTTP install? So what are we looking at there? Conduit from the side. So this is the fiber cable, but it's white? I thought it was always green. Interesting. So that's your fiber connection. What's that? That's conduit that's cracked. So they left the cap off the end here. So that's where the conduit runs along your wall and then it goes into the house, and they just cut it like that. I had FTT working for 10 minutes when I got it installed today. I went outside to see this. 35 comments. It's the fiber cable fully exposed. Look at the hole into the wall. Well, it's not exposed. It's shielded by the plastic. So the fiber optics are inside. They're inside this this white plastic, and the conduit's what it runs through. What are there other images? Okay, it's particularly strange that they just left it like that. I didn't want to open the image. Okay, well that doesn't look too bad. It's kind of a bit cumbersome that they've gone under it. I guess that's just the nature of the way they've laid out their boxes though. Yeah, it's weird, dude. I mean, all that really needs... All the comments say it's not acceptable. Yeah, I guess when I look at that, all I see is that it's a shoddy job, but the mechanics of it should still work. Like, that shouldn't be affecting the service. I wouldn't really care if it actually worked. Yeah, so, okay, so it is affecting, is what you're saying. Let's read the comments. Acceptable, no. Standard, yes. That's a shame. Tom Tucker, this is absolute trash. Fill out a complaint form online. I did, and they came back to make it look better. Even after coming back, I could have done it better myself. NBN installers are so far from a technician. I don't know what you would call them. Wow. Subcontractors of subcontractors. Low bids all the way down. That'll probably be pinged for non-compliant by NBN. As for the optical light, there's a different issue. Push back on it as they look like a bloody octopus. As for the optical light, why would this... I don't understand how this could be... Like, it's still in a shielded cable. The conduit's been cut and it's just resting in there, which is a bit strange. But it's still a shielded cable inside conduit. Pretty shitty job though. Like, how could you do that and walk away from it? Yeah, what about the light, says this person. Not enough clips along the conduit? Is there not? On this length run? Yeah, I guess there could be another clip there. I just wanted to warn you to make sure you're happy before they leave. Yeah, I appreciate the heads up. I won't be here when they do it. I don't imagine. A lack of an end cap on the conduit and that entry into the brick is fully what the? Don't let these people carry tools or cut PVC. I'd also be upset about the chunks taken out of the brick. The chunks taken out? Yeah, this bit underneath it looks pretty shoddy, doesn't it? Yeah, okay, so as I'm reading it, I can certainly see they fucked the wall fully. If a licensed comms cabler did this on the home side of the network boundary, i.e. called customer cabling, they'd be reprimanded at best or have their license suspended. NBN Co should not use any less standard than licensed cablers. This person says it complies to standards, it's just rough. You could run it all in flexi conduit and it would be standard, but NBN would defect it. There's nothing dangerous about it that would warrant any action beyond tech. Has to go back and fix it and would get a build documentation picture book. Yeah, okay. Verified NBN tech. The masonry drilled from inside to out. Lordy, lordy. Is that how come it's come crapping off? Because they've gone from the inside of the house and pushed it out instead of going the other way. Dang. This is from our guy here, Billy. Also, the NTD box was barely on the wall inside the house. Only two screws. Still no FTTP connection. Optical light on the NTD is red. Rang Aussie Broadband. They said to call back tomorrow. I really hope this is a quick issue to fix. Why would it work for 10 minutes and then stop? Any help is welcome. Yeah, man, I feel for you, dude. Complain. That's crap. They did a similar trick here. I had to go NBN at Fastbook and a couple of days later, they're now back to improve it. Still a long way from a good job, but it looks somewhat presentable. That needs a cap or a cut-off elbow. Yeah, the elbow would be better. The little elbow that goes into the wall on the ingress end, plus some silicone to seal the hole. Yeah, definitely. I know about silicone. They should have sighted the box to the left of the Telstra one and you wouldn't have that ridiculous crossover. Yep. Should be more clips on the conduit as well. 1 per meter on a straight run. Did they drill the hole from the inside? Yep. I believe they drilled from the inside. The inside box install is just as bad. Wonky with only 2 screws. That brick wall is cooked, and on top of that, it only worked for 10 minutes. Sorry to hear this, dude. That's a disgrace. Here's the inside stuff. Gotcha. So what are we looking at here? So this is the box. Oh, I can't zoom all the way in. That's as close as I can get in. It just wants to bounce back. That's a shame. Oh no, there we go. Okay, so I mean, yeah, why didn't they need a screw here, right? What a shitty job, dude. Like, they just put one screw up here. There's one screw on the top left and one screw on the bottom right. Are you telling me they didn't screw here and here? Holy shit, dude. It takes like 2 seconds to do this. Normally the cable should be coiled up. Yeah, I mean, this looks pretty messy, this coiling there. What the crap, dude? It slides on the wall. Yeah, dude. That's terrible, man. NBN pay peanuts to the techs so the techs are monkeys. I've heard many horror stories. I had to request a custom install. Okay. That's not what they mean by split conduit. Okay. Looks like shit. That's not standard. I mean, look, that's depressing, and I'm really thankful, Billy, that you brought it up, because I probably won't be here when it happens, but I will certainly be documenting it, right? And if it's as crap as that, they're coming back, right? If that shit happens here, because I've documented this from go to woe, I'm going to be demanding that this gets rectified, right? I'm not putting up with that. No way. And yeah, I mean, further to that and those images, I wonder why your service isn't working. Like, all that stuff, even though it's shoddy and crap, it should still work. I would say that there's an issue further away down at your node. And by the way, that's why I'm so thankful that I have this direct line to this MBN person, this head of escalations, because anytime anything goes wrong, I'm calling her. Anytime. If it stops working, it didn't work. It's off. It's off right now. I'm not putting up with any issues. None. They install it, and then I'm gonna be calling. She is gonna hate me. I can guarantee it, because I got a hunch here. I got a gut feeling. Once it's installed, I got a gut feeling it's not gonna work properly. Just call me a cynic. Call me Mr. Negative, like I used to get called. Call me whatever you want, but that's where I'm leaning. It's not gonna work, and I'm so thankful I've got a direct line. I'm gonna be and she established that there is a communication outside of hours as well. She called me while she was cooking food for her kids. I can call her while I'm cooking food for myself, right? There's going to be no limits to when I can and can't call her. I'm not going to call her at 1 o'clock in the morning when I get home from work, but I can call her outside of hours and say, hey, this isn't working. And I'll document it, right? I'll document it. They get paid per job, so they do it quick. I got $9.50 download and $15 upload. Billy, were you the one that posted on my channel saying that you paid for that business enterprise plan and it should be $4.50 up or something? Was that you? I can't recall. Someone posted a comment on my YouTube channel saying that they paid for a ridiculous amount. It's $450 or $395 a month for gigabit down and $4.50 up. No, that wasn't you. Okay. You've got. See, that isn't that weird, man? You got $9.50 down and $15 up. I mean, look, I've signed up for the top tier, which is like 1,000 down. So gigabit down, but only 40 up or something. Only 15 up. Isn't that weird, man? Isn't that like they can make it synchronous. It can be the same up and down. Like the technology is already there for synchronous internet. I don't know why Australia insists on capping the upload speed. Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? Like, the upload speed should be the same as the download speed. That's the nature of fiber internet. It flows both ways, the same speed. I don't know why they cap it. I got the same plan, 149 Aussie bro. Yeah, that's what ours is. Yeah. But look, what I'm going to do is, once it's been running for a few months and like paid a few months of it, I'm going to drop right back down to the smallest plan. The reason I'm going to do that is because I don't need the speed. Like, sure, it'll be fun to download something in no time, but in actual fact, it doesn't really, like, there's never been a streaming issue. And when I say streaming, I mean downstream. There's been plenty of upstream issues, right? I'm just thankful this stream hasn't shat itself by now. But with 4G, there's so many issues. But I know from streaming, now for close to 5 years, you need solid upload of around about 6 to 8, maybe 10 meg. if you're going to stream 1080 60, you want to be between 6 to 8. 10 would be good, right? 10 meg up. So even the smallest plan and your plan at 15 up, it's going to cover it as long as it's constantly on. I do not want a disconnect, right? I do not want to be streaming using fiber to the premises and I look down and my OBS is red saying no connection. If this happens, I'm on the phone to her. Fiber will be much more consistent, and that's the point of it. Fiber is, and this is what I've been trying to hammer out whenever I talk about this. For me, it's not really the speed issue. It's more about the consistency of optical fiber, the light being on, the light being off. As long as the light's on, bam, we got connection. 4G with this line of sight to the tower and quality of service and congestion when the weekend's here, and all these things are terrible for a live streamer to... That's why things like Speedify exist and LiveView Solo, the idea of bonding multiple 4G connections together for redundancy. That's why all these things exist. But a fiber optic connection obviously will be way better. So on that note, folks, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go and take a look at this. Oh, no, it's the first of the month. I got to make some videos. I got to make my D-Live on April 1 video and my Kick on April 1 video. And I want to go for a walk, and then I want to come back and I want to stream on Kick later on, and I want to drink beer, and I want to drink Jack Daniel's whiskey, and I want to enjoy the fact that I'm not working today and I'm not working tomorrow, so I can get a little tipsy tonight. Normally I don't, right? Normally it's like, can't drink, driving. Tonight and tomorrow, I'm not driving, I can drink, and I plan on doing that. So if you want to hang out with me and have a few beverages, that'd be lovely. Thanks for being here. Thanks. What have we got? 7 likes and 6 watching. Now that ratio says to me, you've done the right thing, Gibbs. You streamed. People liked it. Appreciate you. Come back next time. I'll see you all on the flip side, you beautiful specimens. Wiener again tomorrow. Well, I can do a wiener game tomorrow. Yeah, Doug. Yeah. And you could do the Doug Shunting 5. Hell yeah. All right. I'll catch you lovely specimens on the flip side. Cheers. Get out of here. Go on.